Good morning. Chris, for some reason, my StreamYard did not show a countdown. You know how at the top it shows a countdown? It wasn't, it was showing that I was past due on my live. Did I schedule a 7 a.m. live? I don't know. Let me go look at Facebook. I don't know what I did wrong. Y'all bear with me. Good morning. Am I live on Facebook? No. But oh yes, I am live on Facebook. But it's just now counting down on Facebook. Isn't that weird? So like Facebook's delayed. Good morning. We're gonna let Facebook get here. I've got something on my glasses. So a lot of y'all have got snow. We don't have. It's so weird that in Alabama, it's always North Alabama. If it snows, it's always us that gets snow. And this year it's South Alabama, which is Gulf Shores, the beach. And my stepmom and my brother and sister-in-law and nephews live in Gulf Shores, and they sent me pictures of what Gulf Shores looks like. And Shane and I used to live there. And so our neighbors that live close to us, there is 6 inches of snow in Gulf Shores. And I'm like, are you kidding? So like the pictures of the beach with snow on it, it looks so funny. It's so crazy. But I saw Jason and Brooke didn't get any snow. I don't know if that changed. I didn't see, but I saw Jason's reel that showed he didn't get any snow. He's showing his snow on his car. And I'm like, how do they not get snow? Because they're south. I've got a scratch or something on my glasses. But it's so weird. I'm like, I thought Brooke would definitely get snow, but apparently I was wrong. I don't know how they missed it because they live going to the beach, in Shane, our cabin where Shane hunts, covered in snow. And it's like, well, it's south. It's about an hour from where Shane and I used to live in Stapleton, which is about 45 minutes from Gulf Shores. So anyway, good morning. Have y'all taken your Celtic salt? I know I have gotten in the habit. When I don't go live, I forget my morning routine. You're going to need some of this. Okay. It is a toboggan kind of day. I am not fixing my hair. It is 8 degrees here in Coleman. I'm going to freeze my little tail off. But the good news is it's supposed to get above freezing today. So there is like a light to the tunnel. And I will tell you what I learned the day before it stops freezing. But yesterday, okay, so like if you have chickens, you get me. It has been impossible to keep the water thawed out. The big animals, not as bad because the water containers, trough is bigger. So I can just flip it over and fill it up with water. But with the chicken water, when you use the little water container for chickens, it's not as big and the water is only this thick at the bottom. So it freezes within no time. And so yesterday, about 30 minutes before bedtime, so I've been struggling this whole time trying to keep my waters for my chickens unthawed. Well, yesterday I was going around. Now, first of all, Shane does not get home till 5:30. Therefore, it's it's me, okay? It's me all day. And it's me putting the animals to bed because Shane's not home. So yesterday afternoon, I was in the side-by-side. And the side-by-side I purchased last year. I actually purchased it for Larry. I really did. And I got heat and air because Larry freezes to death and he won't get out of the house during the winter. And I thought, if I buy this side-by-side, then he'll get in the side-by-side because it can stay warm. That's what I bought it for, basically. Well, it's been a benefit to me left and right. So yesterday afternoon, I had the side-by-side outside the gate running with the heat on. So I was running around trying to get water containers. And instead of putting it in the back of the side-by-side, I put it inside the cab where the heat was running. Within 5 minutes, it was thawed out. And I thought, for the past couple of 3 days, I have been breaking ice. And all I had to do was put this water container in the side-by-side for 5 minutes and it unthaws and I could have gone and returned it to the chickens. But instead, I was breaking the ice, filling it up with water, carrying the water container I did all this work when all I had to do was just stick it in the side-by-side for 5 minutes, completely thawed out. And I thought, wow. It's funny how we adapt. Like when we're in situations that are tough and it's hard for a couple of days. It's cool how us as human beings, and I think animals do the same thing, but we figure out how to adapt. You know what I'm saying? At first it's hard. You're walking extra steps, you're breaking your back to bust water, whatever. But then after a couple of days, you learn to try new things because you learn that this is hard. Busting water is hard. But then you're like, well, maybe I'll try this, or maybe I'll try this. And I thought in my head, that's what I want to talk about today. Is in life, we go through situations that are hard. And for a couple of days, it's a nightmare. It's a complete nightmare. I mean, we might be crying. We might have anxiety. I don't know. Sometimes even when someone passes away, you go through this grieving period where it's so hard in the beginning. And then you go through these grief processing to get you to almost like acceptance. It's the same thing in life. You start a new job. It's stressful. You don't know what you're doing. You have to meet new people. It's awful. But then you as a human being, after a little bit, you find what works for you and you begin to adapt. And within a little time, it's not that bad. And you're like, okay, I got this. And it made me think when I realized that all I had to do this entire time was put it in the side-by-side. All I had to do was take the side-by-side to each chicken coop. I wouldn't even have to carry it all the way across the yard in freezing temperature and mess with the water. All I had to do is pick it up, put it in the side-by-side for 5 minutes and return it. But I've learned that as I was doing that, I learned how it's kind of cool how how we figure things out as human beings. We figure it out every time. Times are hard, but we as humans, we figure out how to fix it. I want to stop for just a minute because there are several backup dancers that have been messaging me to pray for them because they're sick. And we as an army of backup dancers need to, I'm not going to give names because I don't know if they want me to say it. So I'm going to not say names. I don't think Chris cares, but Chris is sick. Chris is not joining me on StreamYard because he is very sick. And so, but there's many other backup dancers that are not well right now. They're fighting cancer. They're fighting being sick with the flu, coughing their heads off, not being able to breathe. And we as backup dancers need to join as a team and pray for these people because they're not well. And these are some of our lead backup dancers that are here continuously every single time I go live. They need our prayers. So please today, at some point, whenever you have a moment, please pray for these backup dancers to feel better. This is a bad time of year where the flu runs rapid. And I'm going to tell you something. I told Jane this. Jane, one of our backup dancers. You know, we know each other, but majority of us have never met each other, but we feel very close to each other. And when someone just goes missing and they're not on the live and they're used to be on the live every single week, or they're constantly commenting and then for a couple of days they don't comment, we notice, okay? Like we notice, we're like, where's Diane? I don't know. Where's LaWanda? Why isn't she here? We start worrying because we've gotten to know each other and we consider ourselves good friends. And I'm going to tell you, I'll scout you down, okay? Like, it scares me sometimes because I feel like, will y'all please go tell your friends or your family, would y'all please give them my number? Because I start worrying about, like, I don't know your families. I only know you. And if something happened and you went in the hospital and you just went missing, all of us backup dancers start getting worried because our best friend's not here. And we don't know how to contact any of your family to go, let me see, is Cheryl okay? She hasn't been here. Like, we don't know who to call. And it's like, that's the bad thing about having long distance relationships and relationships where you've never met the person in person and you don't know their family. And then for people that don't do social media, they think we're crazy for having friends that we've never met on social media. The first thing that goes through their mind is they're a scammer. Oh, Lord, mom's done connected with some chick on YouTube that she thinks she's best friends with. And this girl's begging for money. And you're like, no, she doesn't ask for money. No, she's my true friend. She's a real person. And the kids are like, oh, Lord, mom's done flipped her lid. Mom's done flipped her lid. She's going to be sending her retirement to this chick on YouTube. It's like they don't understand. And assumptions are automatically made by your friends or your family or your spouse. They're not a backup dancer to know that, no, I don't want anybody's money. Like, I'm not here to rob anybody. I am a real person. I am. And I am, but you can't convince people that don't know who I am that I'm friends with you, because it seems crazy. It seems, if you told someone, I don't know, let's say you're at the Christmas dinner table and you like, Aunt Judy, da 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 da, and they're like, Aunt Judy, who the heck is Aunt Judy? What? Mom's done, mom's done flipped her lid. You know what I'm saying? It seems crazy. Wait a minute, you have an Aunt Judy that's your age? Like, that don't make sense, Mom. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But we as backup dancers, we get each other. And when you're not here, you're missed. When you are a backup dancer that comments, we get to know you. Sometimes there's backup dancers that never comment. They stay in the background. And that's okay. I mean, that's not what I prefer. I prefer to get to know you. The people that I can't see how many people are here, but it's usually a little over 100 people here. I want to get to know you. Like, I want to know your name. Like, I'm not here for a number. I truly want to develop a relationship with you. Like, I do. And so if you don't comment, the backup dancers don't miss you because we don't know you're here. But when you comment and you're not here, you're missed. You're missed. If you're the type of person that is lonely and you can't get out of the house, or you don't have many friends, you're missing out. When you don't comment, because I'm here to tell you that there is a connection to people that comment. People that, now Facebook doesn't allow you to get here before I'm here. But if you go subscribe to YouTube, YouTube is free. It doesn't cost any money. Okay. It's free. It's just like Facebook. But if you go to YouTube to Sneed's Farmhouse and go subscribe to my page, it is free. You can get here before I'm here and chit chat with the backup dancers. If you're lonely and have no friends, here's your ticket to have friends. And I'm going to tell you that this page is welcoming. We don't judge. We're here to love on you. When you're not here, people are wondering where you are. You will develop a friendship. So just know that. Just know that. If you're like, I'm not the type to chit chat. You've been following me long enough to know that you have a choice. You have a choice. You can be like you've always been, antisocial, no friends. And then you know what happens when you do that? You become very lonely. You feel like you have nobody to back you up. You feel like you have nobody to talk to. You feel like nobody cares about you. That is sitting it out. But you've been here long enough to know that dancing is getting out of your comfort zone and trying something new. The second I did that, my life totally changed. So if you're an introvert and you're like, I don't really want to, try something new and develop friendships with backup dancers. You're going to not feel alone anymore. I promise you. For the longest time, I have felt alone. I feel like, my mom and dad have passed away. I only have one. I have two brothers, but I only have one brother that can actually talk to me. And like Christmas rolls around and I have no family and I feel alone. But ever since I developed friendships on social media, it all changed. I really don't feel alone anymore. I've learned a lot. And I've never met these people in person. And I have some of the best friendships I've ever had in my life from social media. So I'm going to get off that soapbox, but try something new today. Try something new. Okay. This is the deal. When I'm trying to think if he was born yet. My oldest son will be 28 years old this year. It's crazy. When he was a little boy, let me back up. In high school is where my mental issues started. And it started after I started dating this guy in 8th grade. And we dated from 8th grade to 10th grade. And in 10th grade, we broke up. And from that point on, I started having issues with depression, anxiety. My moods were all over the place. And so from 10th grade until, I'm just going to say now, I've had to learn what the heck is wrong with me. Okay. But when it first started happening, all I knew is I don't feel good. Because first of all, I'm in high school, right? I don't know what's wrong. I just know that I'm having trouble getting up, going to school. I don't feel good. Everything inside hurts. And I didn't know what was wrong with me. And because mental health really wasn't talked about much back then, I mean, we just didn't talk about it. I mean, parents didn't take their kids to the doctor for mental health. I mean, if you went to the doctor for mental health, you were crazy. Like it's just not heard of. Well, I started having physical issues because I didn't feel good and I didn't know what was wrong. So all I knew to say is I don't feel good. My stomach hurts. My neck hurts. I don't know. I just would, and I became a hypochondriac because all I knew to say was something hurts. I don't feel good. My head hurts. And so I started developing being a hypochondriac. And I started getting made fun of because I didn't know what was wrong with me. I just knew I didn't feel good. And so this, I don't feel good, lingered on for a long time because no one knew what to do with me. In high school, I told you guys, many of you that have been here for a while know, but my senior year in high school, it didn't feel good. And all I knew to do, because I grew exhausted, because my parents didn't know what was wrong with me. They just knew I was crazy. I always thought something was wrong with me physically. And so I grew exhausted. And that exhaustion led me to, I don't want to live any longer. And I overdosed on a whole bottle, a brand new bottle from Sam's wholesale. So the bottle was about this big. I took every one of the pills of extra strength Tylenol, and I damaged my liver, and I found myself in the ER, and then I found myself in intensive care with a tube down my throat. And then I was really crazy. I got the official diagnosis that my sister's crazy, my daughter's crazy, my friend's crazy. She freaking tried to kill herself. She is psycho. That's where I got my official diagnosis. And that lingered on to this day. To this day. A lot of times your house, your home is your safe place, right? Well, after I tried to take my own life, my home was never my safe place. My home was a place where my siblings made fun of me. And my home was a place for a hangout because my mom worked full time all the time. She worked overtime. So my house was the party pad. My house is where all my brother's friends came and hung out and partied. I did not have a safe home when I was struggling. So Judy stayed in her bedroom. And guess what? She's crazy. Don't worry about her. She's crazy. And I spent majority of my time in my bedroom because my home was not safe for me. I couldn't walk around my home in my robe. There were boys in my house 24/7, messed up, having sex in my living room because mom wasn't home. It was terrible. But if those same people that used to hang out of my house was on my live right now, they were like, oh my gosh, the Waniger house was so much fun. Jane, which is my mom, she was the coolest mom ever. She was not like other moms. And they are correct. My mom was a friend to everyone. My mother, she didn't allow drinking in our house, but she knew people were messed up and never said anything. So, with that being said, as I grew into my 20s and I left my home, all the trauma and all the non-diagnosed problems followed me. So I was still a hypochondriac. So in my 20s, when my oldest son was born, I can't even remember how this started, but I had MS. I had talked myself into having MS, multiple sclerosis. Okay, my legs were going numb, my vision was blurred. I was going back and forth to doctors and my mother and father-in-law were so worried about me because I had a baby and I had this diagnosis that I felt like I had. The doctors couldn't find what was wrong with me. And this was just one instance. Don't you love when it doesn't feel good, something hurts, and they can't find a diagnosis? And you're like, oh no, I'm sick. My leg's numb. I can't see. Like something's wrong. And I'm sitting here saying this and I look crazy. I look crazy when I go into the neurologist and he's like, I've ran all these tests. I can't find anything wrong with you. And I'm like, something's wrong. I don't feel good. I can't even physically get up and take myself to work. I've been on medical leave. I can't, like, this is not me. I'm not feeling good. Something's wrong. Something is wrong. And every doctor that I went to couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. Neither could I. I just knew it hurt. I just knew it didn't feel good. And then this one doctor said, have you been to the psychiatrist? Oh, I'm going to tell you something. When you don't feel good physically and they tell you that you need to go to see a psychiatrist, steam starts coming out your ears and you're like, what? They don't believe me. They don't believe that I am sick. I am physically sick. And they're telling me to go to a psychiatrist. You will find yourself mad as heck. That used to happen to me all the time. I would say I don't feel good. I would have all these tests ran and not a darn thing was wrong with me. And it happened over and over and over and over and over until 2010. 2010, how old was I? I was 41, I think. Let me figure it out. There you go. I'm not that smart. $39. I was 39 years old in 2010. I already had both of my children. I was a hypochondriac for 20-something years. I don't know how long. Nothing was ever wrong with me. I drove my family, my friends, and everybody crazy because I knew I didn't feel good. In 2010, my husband of 15 years leaves me. Can you imagine living with me? I'm sure I was a lot of fun. But he left me and my children and moved out to his dad's house. And I was devastated. And it caused me to have a complete nervous breakdown. And I'm home alone. I'm in this huge house. And I'm not going to get into details because I want to go somewhere with this, but I lost my job. I have no husband. I have 2 children. And I'm not well. And I'm like, what am I going to do? I ended up flying to California for rehab. And you know how much fun it was to sit my children down and go, hey, Mom's fixing to go to California for 60 days. I have to leave y'all behind with people to help take care of you. Mom is sick. And my kids are like, what? What? And my kids are sitting there bawling their eyes out because Mom's leaving on a plane to California to go to rehab. And my life started changing because I had choices. My choices were to sit it out and continue to go, I don't feel good. I don't feel good. I don't feel good. Nothing's wrong with you. All your tests came back positive. I mean, negative. There's nothing wrong with you. Or my other choice was, get your shit together, Judy. Your kids need you. So, to make a long story short, that's where my life started changing, because I was forced, I guess you call it rock bottom. I was forced to get it together. And I can remember sitting in the psychiatrist's office going, but how am I going to survive financially? Like, my husband's left me. How am I going to have insurance? Like, what am I going to do? Like, like I can remember just going, man, I'm at rock bottom. I'm at rock bottom. I'm not going to go into details about that, but yesterday I walked into Larry's room. Larry has lived with me for 8 years. I know him like the back of my hand. And I walked into the room and he said, I'm sick at my stomach. And he's sick at his stomach a lot. And he goes, I need one of those nausea pills. And I said, Larry, you have one of those nausea pills every day with your morning breakfast. I've already given you that. And he's like, but I don't feel good. I don't feel good. And then by that time, the nurse is here. And the nurse goes, like, what is wrong? And he's like, I just don't feel good. But what was crazy is his nurse brought him a bologna and cheese sandwich from Dale's, which Dale's is across the street from us. And they get their bologna from, it's not like bologna, it's like good bologna. It's from a market that's up the street. It's I forgot what it's called. Anyway, it's like not just bologna sandwich. It's like a nice bologna sandwich. It's like a $10 bologna sandwich. Okay. So she called and she brought him a bologna sandwich. Now he's sick and nauseated, and he is eating that bologna sandwich like there's no tomorrow, just chomping down on it. And when the nurse started taking his vital signs, she said, Judy, his heart is racing. And I knew exactly what was wrong with him. He is going to the nursing home for respite on Thursday. And all he knows is I don't feel good. And I tried to talk to him. I said, hey, listen, I'm taking you Thursday, but I'm picking you up on the 29th. You're only staying 5 days. But his anxiety is through the roof. His heart is racing. He can't sleep. He has anxiety. He doesn't feel good. His stomach hurts. He doesn't know how to say, I am having freaking anxiety through the roof because I'm going to the nursing home and it's giving me anxiety. And he's already been to the nursing home, to this place. And the last time he went for 5 days is when I went to Gulf Shores. And when I text him, he goes, the food is delicious. This place is nothing like the last nursing home I went to. These people are wonderful. He had a good time. But as we approach the time again of change, he's forgotten how much he liked it. And all he knows is, I don't feel good. And I was sitting there trying to reason with him. And I wished that when I was going through all that, that I had someone going, hey, I've been there. Anxiety can make you physically sick. But I didn't have anybody to go. No one around me had gone to counseling to go, Judy, you've got in freaking depression, anxiety. You need, like, come on, let me take you. Let me fix you. Come on, let's go to this doctor. Go tell him what you're going through. I didn't have a Judy when I was going through that. But Larry has someone that goes, I understand. I understand. But what's happening is when you've done the same thing your entire life, it's hard for you to catch on what's going on with you because you're not in tune with your body. That's why we're here, folks. That's why we're learning to dance, because you right this minute need to figure yourself out. A lot of us go, I don't feel good. I can't go to work. I don't know. I can't do it today. I need to stay in the bed in my pajamas. I can't do it. What is up with that? You need to figure it out, because you're going to find yourself in Larry's shoes at 70. I think he's 76. I don't know how it is. And he has no tools in his pocket to get him through it. All he knows is he doesn't feel good. I understand, because I went through that in my teens. I know what it feels like not to feel good, and there's nothing wrong with you physically. So, as a nurse was here and saying his heart was racing, I said, Larry, what is wrong? Nothing? Nothing? Are you having anxiety about going to the nurse? No. No. And all I could think about was me going to the doctor when I thought I had MS. And the doctor's asking me questions. Do you have depression? No. No. Do you have anxiety? No. My leg's going numb. My vision's blurred. Do you not understand? I'm physically sick. Have you ever seen a psychiatrist? No. There's nothing wrong with me mentally. I'm physically have MS. I've already done all the Google research. I'm telling you, I'm sick. And I'm sitting there going, are you having anxiety about going to? No, my stomach hurts. Your heart is racing, Larry. I don't know why. I haven't gone to it's probably because I haven't gone to the bathroom. I didn't go to the bathroom today. I need a pill to make my stomach stop hurting. I get you. I get you. So what do I do? Because at this point, not everybody understands mental health. And that's why Judy goes live every Monday and Wednesday, is to talk about mental health, talk about the bull crap I've been through and how I got to where I am today. Because the last thing I want is any of you to be going, my stomach hurts, I have MS, and you don't understand that it's all mental health, because mental health can make you physically sick. And if you do not understand yourself and you don't begin to put tools in your pocket to deal with life is hard. You're going to deal with death. You're going to deal with declining. getting old. You're going to deal with getting wrinkles and not looking the same. You're going to deal with saggy skin. You're going to deal with all this crap. And if you don't put these tools that I teach you in your pocket, you're going to find yourself 76 years old going, my stomach hurts. Now, what do I do? You know how I tell you that the only person that you can fix is yourself? I can walk into Larry's room and say, Larry, your stomach hurts because your heart is racing because you're having anxiety about going to the nursing home. And he's going to say, no, I'm not. The only person I can fix is myself. I can't give somebody tools to put in their pocket to deal with life that doesn't recognize what's going on. So I have to walk away and let him have terrible anxiety and be sick at his stomach and his heart pound out of his chest because I can't fix it. And for someone that's a caregiver, that's sitting here watching someone that has no tools in their pocket, you find yourself in left field, because what happens is I feel guilty. So that I have choices. I can go, okay, he's having too much anxiety. I'm not going to put him in respite. I could call the social worker today and say, hey, he's not doing well. He's not doing well. But why am I not going to do that? The reason I have to stay in my own lane and just go, because I have guilt. When he's like that, the guilt that comes over me sucks. It sucks. Toothpicks. It freaking sucks. I want to fix it. I want to go in there and put my arms around him and go, listen, it's for 5 days. You need a break. I need a break. You have been in your bedroom for 60 days and not left. No, I take that back. He left Thanksgiving. He went out to eat with us to Shane's mother's. And then at my Christmas event, he went to the education center. So in 60 days, he's left his bedroom twice. Sometimes when you become the parent, let's talk about that for just a minute. You have children. Let's say, I don't know, they're sick and they've got to get an antibiotic shot, and they're at home and you're preparing them. Hey, we've got to go get a shot. You have strep throat. You're contagious. We have to go get an antibiotic. I don't want a shot, Mom. And they're having this meltdown fit, crying fit because they don't want a shot. Are you going to call the doctor on the phone and say, hey, Timmy boy is having a meltdown fit because he's about to get a shot, so I think we're going to miss this appointment? No, you're going to go, we've got to go to the doctor, because you know your child has strep throat, and the only way to get him better is to go get an injection. And it sucks for that child because it hurts to get a shot. And they're having a complete meltdown about getting the injection. But you know, as a parent, it's the right decision. It's the same thing for me. I know this is the right decision for me and him. And why is that? Because if I don't keep myself good, I can't take care of him. If something was to ever happen to me, this is what would happen to Larry. So, as someone that loves him with all my heart, I have to slowly make this transition, because if the day ever comes where I have to put him in there full time, I'm preparing for a transition in case that ever happens. So I know in my brain, it's the right thing. I know in my brain, it is a wonderful nursing home. It's only for 5 days. It is a way for me to get him out of his bedroom, put him around people, get him out of his comfort zone. And it's almost as if I am forcing tools in his pocket. So if the day ever comes, it's not just totally detrimental to him. He knows where he's going. He knows the people. God forbid anything ever happened to me. But if something did, no one can take care of him. Shane can't. Shane works a full-time job. My brother can't. My brother has 6 kids and works a full-time job. There's nobody else. So if I don't begin to make steps every 60 days to put him in respite, I know that's not good for him. It's not good for me. So it's almost as if I'm forcing this kid to go get a shot because he's got strep throat. But as a parent, you feel guilty. You feel guilty because you know your kid's about to get pain and about to get a shot. There's no difference in me than a parent that has a child that's going to get a shot. It's terrible to watch. But in order for me to take care of myself, I have to walk away from it. It seems cruel, but I have to go, Judy, you can't fix this. I can't go in there and reason with him and go, it's going to be okay. Do you remember last time? You remember how much you enjoyed the food? Do you remember how much you enjoyed the staff? Do you remember? Remember they have birds in the nursing home? They have animals? Remember? He can't see that. All he knows is that my stomach hurts. I don't feel good, but I get it. And I can sympathize with him and go, but see, if I sat and told him this story, he's going to look at me like I looked at the doctor when I thought I had. No, I don't have mental problems. I freaking hurt. Don't you get it? I'm physically sick. Do you think I would come in here with mental issues? No, I've already Googled. I have every symptom of MS. You want to sit here and tell me that I'm mental? Seriously? To this day, it happens. I feel physically sick. I have to literally, when I start because it will make you physically sick. I have to go, okay, let me tell you this. Do you know that every time I go live, before I go live, usually the day before, it starts hitting me. Oh God, I can't do this. What do I do? I cannot go live. I have got anxiety so bad. My life is so chaotic. I'm embarrassed. I can't sit on this live and pretend like nothing's wrong with me. I am a train wreck. I'm embarrassed to go live. I'm embarrassed to tell these people that I thought had MS. I can't tell these people that. They'll think I'm crazy. Like, I have anxiety before I have got to this day. It is not easy for me to get on here and go live and tell you all my garbage. I have to force myself to do this. And when I go Monday, I'm like, I can't do it. I don't know what to do. I can't go live. I cannot do it. I'm just going to have to tell them that I have too much on me. I can't do it. And then guilt sets in. I don't go live. And then guilt sets in. Oh my gosh, why didn't I go live? Now, all these people, I have to start all over and try to build a following. And oh my gosh, my mind spins out of control. If you are sitting on the other side and think I got my crap straight, I don't. I tell you every single time I go live that I am a freaking train wreck. I am a train wreck. I am. The difference is every time I'm a train wreck, I try to problem solve. I'm like, okay, what is wrong with you, Judy? Last week, when I was in counseling, I was telling her, I said, listen, the anxiety is through the roof. When I have a tour, when I have a field trip, when I go live, it is through the roof. And she was like, do you want to quit? And I'm like, I'm scared to. I'm scared of disappointing people. She was like, okay, why don't we do this? Why don't you plan your anxiety? What does that mean? Plan my anxiety? She was like, you have anxiety every night before you go live, or every time you have a tour, the night before you start having anxiety. Yes. Okay. Let's start scheduling your anxiety. I don't understand. I don't understand. And I started thinking that she was talking about, you know how I set a timer and go, you got 10 minutes to complain. And when Siri says it's up, and I stop complaining. Okay, I have to look at what she said because it's still confusing to me. I wrote it in my notes when she was talking to me. I was like, you want me to do what? Plan my anxiety. Okay. Okay. Oh. So with me, what causes anxiety is when I'm not in control. When there's something that I cannot control, I am all over the map, like mentally. Once a decision's made, whether it's good or bad, I can go with it. But the build up to the event causes me anxiety. So in other words, okay, I have a field trip that's coming up. Let's just say the night before, oh my God, what if Dexter's in a bad mood and the kids can't go out there? Oh my gosh, what if the kids hate it? What if I don't have enough animals and they think this is a stupid thing? Or what if I get up there and read the book and they're like, oh my gosh, this is like so childish and I don't want to hear your story anymore. Those things cause me anxiety because I worry. I can't control those things. I can't control, like, whether Dexter's in a bad mood and the kids can't go over there. I can't control whether they think that I'm a goofy root and read the book stupid. Okay. And they're sitting there rolling their eyes at me. I can't control that the reaction to how many animals I have. I can't control that. So it causes my brain to go into anxiety attack the night before. Once the bus rolls in and the kids are in front of me, I become a rock star. And I'm like, if there's someone rolling their eyes, I'm like, finna win you over, chickie mama. You roll your eyes at me. By the end of this field trip, you're going to be wanting to work here. That's what I do. And by the end of the field trip, me and her are BFF. She's calling her mom. I given her a free ticket to bring her family back. They're coming back. And she's talking about her Aunt Judy as if she's known me her whole life. Once I get in front of the people, I got it because I'm in control. I can control everything that's in front of me. But leading up to it, my brain is like this. My stomach hurts. I don't feel good. I got MS, whatever. You know, like it's not good. And so she was like, let's start planning your anxiety. And the reason she's telling me to plan my anxiety, she wants me to physically get a notebook and go, what if they say I don't have enough animals? What if they hate me reading the book? What if, and I'm writing down, I'm planning my anxiety. I'm writing it down. She said, it's because it puts me in control of my anxiety. Judy does better when I'm in control, right? I do better when I'm in control of the situation. Like when I'm on the fence and I don't know which way I'm fixing to fall, I'm a train wreck. If I'm on the fence and a decision's made, whether it's good or bad, I can handle it. If it's a bad decision, I can handle it. I'm good. They hated me. Okay, they hated me. Better luck next time. Okay. But when I'm on the fence and there's no decision made, my stomach hurts. I have MS. I can't sleep. I'm sweating. My heart's racing. So she said, let's start having control of your anxiety. Let's get a notebook when it starts and let's write down the things that could cause anxiety. You have control of the anxiety. And I know in my head, just like Larry knows, when he went to the nursing home, he loved it. I know that every time I have a field trip, it is a success. But you can't tell me when I'm in the middle of an anxiety attack and I'm having anxiety, you can't convince me, Judy, it goes good every time. Why are you having anxiety over it? Like if I looked at Shane, because half the time I don't tell him. Why? Because I sound crazy out loud. If I looked at Shane and said, hey, dude, I'm having anxiety over this field trip tomorrow. Why? I don't know. My stomach hurts. I feel like I need to go to the doctor. I'm having blurred vision. Are you crazy? This is like your number 1,000 field trip. You've done this 100 times, 1,000 times. Why anxiety today? No, dude, I have it every single time. I just don't tell you. Well, what's causing your anxiety? What if they don't like me? Judy, you're having anxiety because you think they're not going to like you. Yes. I look crazy because it makes no sense. And if I asked you, what's causing your anxiety? You're probably going to look crazy to me because it's stuff that like, it's worried about stupid stuff. But that's what anxiety does. And you can't explain it. Like you can't put your finger on what it is. So, if you're like me and you have anxiety, and if you tell people out loud what your anxiety is, like a lot of times I have anxiety about my weight. And if I say it out loud, if I go, I am such a fat butt, Shane. He's like, oh my God, I know. You are the fattest thing I have ever seen in my life. I don't know how you live with yourself, Judy. I will start busting out laughing because he'll like, it's like he knows how to handle my anxiety. Shane, you don't understand. Just quit talking. You don't get it. Well, you're sitting here telling me you're the fattest thing ever. Does your clothes fit different? No. Then what are you talking about? I'm just having a freaking fat day, okay? Just let me have a fat day. I'm having the day that I just feel fat. Okay. Then why are you going in the kitchen eating 6 cupcakes? Because I'm fat, Shane. I'm fat. I might as well just stay fat and just enjoy myself and eat all 6 of these cupcakes. Okay? You go mind your own business. That's how our house works. Okay? And if I asked him, if he's in the middle of an anger attack, dude, you're letting your blood pressure get up over not being able to open that box. Like, really? You're acting like a 2-year-old. You're saying words that are terrible because you can't open up this box. Because yesterday he was trying to open up his toolbox and he kept using the wrong key. And he goes into this freaking like anger attack, like get in a fist fight with the daggum box he's trying to open. I'm like, you gonna get ripped up mad at that toolbox right there because you can't figure out what key goes to that toolbox. So you're going to say the most god-awful words, cuss the toolbox out because you can't figure out the key. Man, that's funny. That's hilarious. So we can do it to each other. Like when I tell him I'm having a fat day, it doesn't make sense to him. And whatever kind of day you're having, if you literally said out loud what you were worried about, people are going to probably go, wait a minute. You're sitting here worried about your chickens in the snow. Yes. Yes, I sure am. Are you, like, is there something wrong with you? Like, can't you find something else to worry about? I mean, it's just like, half the stuff it's not stupid to us, but it's almost like if you said what you were worrying about out loud, we look like crazy folks. But just understand that your Aunt Judy gets it. So if you need to send me a message and go, hey, Judy, I just wanted to let you know that I'm having anxiety because of this, I'll probably laugh with you and go, well, you know what? I tell you what, you think that's bad? Let me tell you what my anxiety is over. My anxiety is over because I had a dream last night. This is a true story. I had a dream last night that I wasn't married to Shane. I was married to my children's dad. Anyway, and I was using his tractor at some field. And I used it, and then I stopped the tractor. And I went to the other side of the park or wherever I was at. And the next thing you know, the tractor is rolling into a lake. And Mindy, the group home lady, went before it hit the lake, and she went and jumped into the tractor, and Mindy and the tractor went in the lake. And Mindy is currently in ICU. She's sick. She had surgery and she has an infection. That's the true story. And I saw her go into the lake and I was afraid she was going to get pneumonia because I have a friend that has pneumonia and I'm worrying about her. And I was like, oh, dear Jesus. And I woke up a train wreck because the tractor and Mindy went into the lake and she's going to get pneumonia and something's going to happen to her and I don't know what to do. Okay, if I say why I'm having anxiety this morning and I say that to you, what are you doing? She is cray. She is cray. And if I broke the dream down, I'm worrying about a couple of things. I'm worrying about my friend that has pneumonia. I'm worrying about my friend that's in the ICU. I'm worrying about jacking up Shane's tractor because while Shane was gone hunting this weekend, I got in Shane's dually truck. Okay. A dually truck is about $65,000. Okay. I got into Shane's dually truck because I went to get the animals some straw. I can't drive a dually. When I was pulling into the carport, I scraped the whole side of the dually with the side of the carport and ruined Shane's truck. That's a true story. So I was worrying about jacking up the tractor, which it was the dually truck, worrying about my friend with pneumonia, worrying about my friend in the ICU, and the dream came out like that. And so then this morning I have anxiety and I start messaging both of my friends going, are you okay? And I look crazy. But if I would say, listen, I had this dream and this is what happened, people are going to look at me like I have four horns on my head and go, there's something wrong with you. So be careful who you tell what your anxiety is about. If you need to look in the mirror and go, hey, Judy, you got anxiety, let me tell you what it's about. Not everyone is your friend. Not everyone understands. But the people that have the tools in their pocket and have counseling under the belt, they get you. Okay? Today is Wednesday. It's hump day. Today is the first day. It is 8 degrees here, but guess what? It's supposed to get above freezing today. Hallelujah. So today you have choices. Okay? Life is hard. I hope that when we join in the mornings that I give you something that helps you. I don't know what. I don't know if you can relate to me in some way. Maybe you're not going through the same things that I'm going through, but I pray in some way that you can get some kind of tool from me and put it in your pocket, because I don't want you to not be able to cope with life. Life is hard, but you can sit it out. And sitting it out is going through life not understanding yourself. You need to figure yourself out. Why does your stomach hurt? Why are you not sleeping? Why is your eating out of control? Why does your head hurt every day? Whatever it is, that is sitting it out when you don't grasp why things are happening to you. Dancing is listening and going, okay, there's nothing wrong with me physically. That's hard to hear, that I am mentally jacked up, but the truth is the truth. Do I need to go to counseling? What do I need to do to take care of myself? And whatever you need to do to take care of yourself, you need to do. And that's what I call dancing. I'll see you next week. Love you. Bye.